Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time zone you are currently watching this video. I hope you're doing well. Today, guys, I'm going to go straight to this because it is going to be a pretty long video by nature. Okay. For those that don't know and just happen to find this video in, kind of navigating YouTube and trying to figure out a way to start your drop shipping or e-commerce journey, allow me to properly introduce myself to you. I am Darwin, the founder of Inspire Dropshipping, and I put this video together more so as obviously a guide to help you kind of navigate some of the things that can seem very overwhelming for most people that are just starting, right? If you are, kind of deep into the e-commerce space, and obviously this is not going to be a video that provides you a ton of value, but this is going to be something very helpful to those that are just starting and have this cloud of concern, of starting because building a website is something that they're scared of, or they automatically think that it's associated with you having to do codes and all this other stuff, right? That I can understand how you would think that, but honestly, it's nothing like that. Shopify, which is one of the many platforms that allows you to be able to host and create a website, is by far one of the most user-friendly platforms for beginners to get started. And honestly, it's so simple that after we finish, you are going to be amazed at how easy it is to be able to start and build your own digital location, which for me personally, I do consider it very important. It is not at the top of the food chain when it comes to things that are going to necessarily have a direct effect on making you money. It is up there, but it's not number one. Yes, can you do e-commerce without having a website? You can. You run a Facebook page, but I always recommend that you have a website, irrespective of which platform you are using to build that website, whether it be Wix, whether it be Woo, whether it be Shopify, BigCommerce, Commerce, HIQ, I believe that's the name of it. So there's a bunch of different platforms that you can use to get your online business started. So to not take much of your time, let's dive straight into it. Okay. So one of the first things that you are going to need to do is obviously think of a store name that you may want to come up with, right? Not a Again, you're not going to have to do this at the beginning. Like, I guess it's not the main thing, but start thinking about what you want your store to be named, because you are going to have to buy a domain, but you are going to have to create an email and sign up for a Shopify free trial. There is 14 days that Shopify gives you to be able to build your site, put everything together. Now, before you go live and you can start generating some sales and pushing traffic to your website, you are going to have to pay them that $13 monthly fee that they charge you. But they do give you 14 days absolutely free, just so you can kind of get everything set up as you may need it. Okay. So again, first thing is create an email. Okay, obviously the easiest way is to go to Gmail, create an email that you are going to use to be able to sign up for this free Shopify trial. Upon doing so, you are pretty much going to type it in, and I've already created it. And what is it? Inspire Shopify. What was it? I call it tutorial at gmail.com. Okay, so we're going to set that up there, and we are going to click free trial. Now, you're going to create a password now. So let's do that. And you can create a store name. Now, if you haven't yet figured it out, as I said, you should start thinking about what you want to name your Shopify store, but it's not the most important thing. You can put anything here, and you can pretty much change the name of your store, but do bear in mind that Shopify will give you a pretty much a starting URL. So you should have some kind of idea of what your store should be. But again, you can always change it, right? So here, let's create a store name, and let's just say we're going to create testing inspire. Let's go with that. Hopefully it's not taken. I doubt that it is. Once we do this, okay, awesome. Let's save this. Okay, so once we have signed up, we obviously created our email, we've signed up for the 14-day free trial. At this particular point, you can literally just skip all of this. This is not necessary. And here we'll just put Sam, right? Test, order. I'm just gonna block this out.
I didn't get that. Could you try?
Sorry, Siri. My apologies. And here you pretty much put in your personal information. Okay. I'll block all this out because my information is here. And once you do so, of course, just go to enter my store. So this is pretty much the preliminary process prior to you doing absolutely anything to your actual store. You have to be able to sign up, put all your personal information there. I do suggest that you put the accurate information within Shopify. Don't put fake addresses or anything like that. And once you've done so, it will take you to this main screen. This is the back end of Shopify, and there's a bunch of different things here that I'm not going to get into today because this is not a tutorial on actual Shopify, but this is more of a tutorial on how to build your website, right? A lot of these things are pretty self-explanatory for the most part, so I don't have to go into much detail over it. But as you can see here, there's a bunch of different options, right? So one of the things that we are going to do, and as you can see here, it says testing inspire. I will be able to change that, right? I'm not going to focus on that now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to online store. Okay. Once I go to online store, something that Shopify does is that they give you a free theme, and there are some free theme options. And what a theme is, it's kind of like if you've ever played any type of video games, they have these skins, right? For, I think, Mobile Legends or a bunch of different games, right? There's like these skins. It's kind of like you can kind of say like the outfit of your website. Okay, and you can have a bunch of different outfits, quote unquote, right, to your website. Shopify does give you a few free options, okay, that you can use, and you'll be able to see that right here where it says free themes, right? So let's say that I were to click this, right, I will be able to see the free themes that Shopify provides me with, okay? A lot of these are pretty basic, pretty straightforward. They definitely do the job if you don't want to necessarily buy one. But we are going to be using a paid theme that I bought for. And it's pretty expensive in some cases, where you'll spend $300, $150, right, for a theme. You can definitely find a bunch of free ones here. But the good thing for you is that I'm going to be actually giving you as a freebie for you kind of taking, some of your time and learning with us, with the Inspire community. I will be giving you a free theme. I'll put a Google Drive in the description that you can use. It is a high-end theme. There are a few variations to this theme, and this is going to be the first time that I use this one in particular, and I did that intentionally, and I will tell you why in a bit. But if you want to go with some of the Shopify free options, you can do so. Pretty straightforward, right? Now, the default theme that they give you is Debut. Okay, this is definitely one of the most common themes used by drop shippers, right? So I personally don't recommend that you use this one. You can, but it's just not one of my favorites personally, right? So if I go here, I can select one. Obviously, I will be uploading a theme that is not within the actual Shopify. I already have it somewhere on my desktop or my download. So if I have this theme, which again, you are going to be able to have access to it on the description, I will give you a Google link for it, a Google Drive link for it that you can be able to download it. And once you download it, you would go to, it says theme library, and you would upload a theme. Okay. Now, once I do that, I'm gonna go to desktop. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so this is the Turbo Portland theme. Once I select the theme, all I would really need to do is click upload. It'll take about a minute or so, and we should be able to be set. Now, the reason why I kind of picked out this, and because I do have about 100 different themes, if not more. I picked out Portland, the turbo theme, just because, as an example, to show you that a lot of these themes are pretty similar, right? Like the functionalities are all pretty much the same. There is a small variation on each theme, from the functionality standpoint, but for the most part, all of them are pretty much the same. So once you build a store with one, it'll be a very easy transition for you to, change the theme, upload another one, create a second, third store, whatever it is. And the familiarity that you have from the first one will naturally carry over to that second one. And a lot of the things are pretty much the same, right? So again, this is my first time ever customizing this theme. So we are all going to kind of learn this theme together. Okay. So as you see here, it says that Turbo Portland theme has been added. And again, you're going to upload it right here where it says theme library. So once it's uploaded, I will have a few options that I can go with. I can just customize it, okay, without actually publishing the theme, because right now the published theme is, as you can see here, it says current theme, it is debut. I uploaded Portland, okay, but it's not yet published and live. The one that is actually live right now is this debut theme. And if you want to be able to see what it looks like, we can actually just go to customize. And this is what the debut theme looks like. And do bear with me. I just moved and the internet connection here has not been upgraded and it's pretty slow. So here, this is the actual theme. Pretty straightforward, right? There is a banner, name of the actual store, right? Some sections here, home, catalog, banner. There's a bunch of things you can do with it, collection, so on and so forth, reviews. So this is what the bear theme looks like, right? And everything that you see here is pretty much customized through this section on the left, right? Give you an example, let's say image banner, right? So again, let me go back. If I select image with text, this is the image with text, right? So if I click it, as you can see here, okay, it gives me options in which I can customize this. A bunch of different things that I can play around with, right? And as you can see here, this is the text, which is use overlay text. Pretty much this here is the information here. So if let's say that I wanted to delete it, I just delete it. If I wanted to delete this, I can easily delete this, right? And again, if I want to play with, if I want it to be large, if I want it to be medium, I can pretty much play around with all of these settings. They're all pretty self-explanatory, right? So this is what the debut theme looks like. So we're going to just exit out of this because we are not going to be customizing this theme. We are going to be using the Portland theme. Now, once I uploaded the Portland theme, what I want to do is I want to publish it, okay? I will go to actions, and I would just go to click the drop down in actions and just go to publish. Okay, so once this is done, just click publish. And now the theme that I uploaded is now the theme that is active and live. Okay. Now let's see, let's go to customize, and we're going to be able to see some differences, obviously, just within the theme structure, how they have everything set up. Few things will be different. Okay. As you can see, This one is a bit more comprehensive. I definitely like this a lot more. Okay, let me that. So a lot more options to play with, right? Now, we're not going to get too fancy in this tutorial. This is more of just like an overview of how to pretty much build the store, show you the simplicity aspect of Shopify. But you can get very, very granular with these themes and just make them look amazing, right? We're going to go pretty basic just to kind of give you an understanding of how to do this, right? Now, again, as you can see, there are sections on the left, which all of these things pretty much customize something here, right? And the good thing is that when you click it, right, it'll actually take you to what you're editing. So you're not just guessing what it is that you're doing, right? Again, if you want to go back, just go back. So there's some dividers here. So pretty straightforward, right? Now, what I am going to do, and what I recommend that you all do, is that you always customize your theme in a mobile setting. Okay. And what's really the difference? You're going to be able to see that right here. Okay. So if I hover over this icon, right, and I click it, this will give me a few options. I can go widescreen, will give me the whole theme, right? There's no edit section on the left. I can go desktop, right? And it would give me the edit section here on the left, or I can go to mobile and it would show me what the theme will look like on the actual phone. Now, why do I recommend that you make all of your edits and you pretty much, first kind of update your website and customize it on the mobile version? Because, you know, 90 something percent, 95% of your traffic, is typically somebody on the phone. Okay. And why is that? If you're doing local drop shipping, and even international, right? A lot or I guess the main platform to use to be able to advertise is Facebook ads. Okay. And when, you're advertising on Facebook ads, you're pretty much, most people that are navigating Facebook at this particular point are doing it on their phone. Okay. I dare to ask you, when's the last time that you sat on your computer just to browse Facebook? Unless you absolutely need to, right? And you're maybe doing a project or something, or doing some more things and you have it open and you're browsing through it. I can probably see that happening. But just when you're randomly just hanging out, right? You're just browsing the internet, all of that pretty much is happening, or a vast majority of that is happening on your phone, right? So, of course, your main priority would be to customize your website on the mobile version and then make adjustments to the desktop version, right? As you go along. But your main priority should be the mobile version. So, I've obviously selected the mobile version, and pretty much what we see here, okay, is the theme completely, right? The whole theme in itself. Now, what we want to do, and one of the first things that I personally do is I don't start making changes on the actual theme itself, but I start creating, different pages and collections that I'm going to be adding to my website, right? Pages are going to be pretty much, your privacy page, your there is pretty much, what else? There's privacy, there's contact, there's a bunch of different pages that are utilized, right? That people don't necessarily navigate them, just for full transparency, right? Many people do not navigate pages of privacy and things of that nature, but they are important to have on your actual store, just for the optics of it. Okay, just for the optics of it. So very important that you have a terms of service page, a shipping policy page, a refund policy page, things of this nature, right? So that's typically what I like to do first, and I will show you how to do that. So we're just going to exit out of this. Okay, not going to need that now. We're going to come back to this. And on the left hand side, I am going to create pages. Okay, so when I click pages, I will be sent to this section here. And really, what I want to do is just add a page, and I am going to give them a title, right? So let's go, typically I go all caps for this. I'm going to just put, refund policy. Okay, and I'm going to leave this blank for now. We're going to come back to this later. So I'll go save. Once I save, I'm simply just going to go here where it says create another page. Okay, so when I create another page, I'm going to put shipping policy. Same thing, I will leave this blank and I'll just go to save. I will create another page and I am going to put this as terms of service. Okay. And another page that I like to create is one that says track your order. Okay. These are some of the basic pages that I would recommend that you have. Now, granted, these pages are not set up on the Portland theme that you created. Okay, they're not there. These things, are things that you are going to have to manually create, and then obviously, pretty much put them in your website. So if people, a lot of people, if they see that, it just gives your website a lot more credibility. It makes people feel like you are a legitimate company, which obviously you are going to be operating legitimately, right? But they don't know that it's a random person, in their room, just kind of managing a business, right? So I definitely suggest that you create these pages, and there could be a lot more. There could be a delivery policy, right? So let's create that one. Create another page. Delivery policy. Okay, I don't know if I created privacy policy yet. But let's just put it here. Privacy policy. All right. So now, if I just go back here, you will be able to see, and again, I am on pages. If you can see, it's kind of grayed out on the left hand side. I am on pages, and I just created a total of 6 pages. Okay. And again, a lot of this is just for optics to be able to make a customer feel comfortable if they happen to get to this. Now, is someone ever going to read this? God, the likelihood of anybody reading this information is so small. But again, it's always good practice to have them there just in case somebody does read it. But I don't put a lot of emphasis on these things just because I know people don't read them, but I do have them set up in the event that they do. Okay. All right. So we have these pages that we've created. Now, we obviously have them blank, right? These pages are absolutely blank. There's nothing in them. And you can see that if you click one of these pages, you will be able to see that these pages are blank. Let me see. We have privacy policy, delivery policy, track your order, terms of service, shipping policy, refund policy. And one that I did forget was a contact us page. Now, this one's a little different. Okay. So pay attention here. When you're creating a contact us page, you're not going to leave this blank. Okay, and a contact page is very important, by the way. All right, this is probably the page that will be utilized the most, right, out of all of them, maybe besides shipping, but contact I would put high up there when it comes to utilization by customers. So when you create a contact us page, what you're going to do here, you're going to go to the right hand side and it says templates. Okay. Now, all you simply do is you click this drop down and you're going to go to page.contact. Okay. This will create a contact form within your page. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a bit. But just remember, when you are creating a contact us page, go to the template dropdown and go to the template page.contact. Okay. Once you do that, simply click save. And now we're going to have a total of 7 pages created. Okay. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, Darwin, will I have to manually populate all of these pages with information? No, you don't. Shopify does a very good job in giving you a helping hand in being able to do this. Okay. So how are you going to populate these things? You're simply, okay, you're going to go to the bottom left where it says settings. When you go to settings, it'll give you a bunch of different options here, which again, this is not a Shopify tutorial. This is a website tutorial, so I'm not going to go over all of this. This will probably be a separate video that we can talk about. But for now, let's just stick to the actual website creation. So what you're going to do when you go to settings, you are going to go to the legal tab. Okay. So once you click the legal tab, what you will see here are some of the main pages that we created. Now, all you got to do is create template. Hit this little button here that says create template, and Shopify will give you all the information that you need. Okay, create template. And your shipping policy, this is one that you may have to customize yourself, and just put, whatever information you want on here, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to open up a new tab. Okay. So let's pretty much just, oh crap, sorry. We're gonna go, so on this tab here, you're gonna have the information, and you're gonna open up another tab. You're gonna go to online store on the left, go to pages, right, where we just created them, and you're pretty much gonna copy paste this information into the pages here. So in this case, the first one is refund policy. So we're gonna click refund policy. Okay. And we save it. Now do bear in mind that it does automatically utilizes the email that you created your store with, right? That's why I did mention that you should have some level of idea of what you want to name your store, even though you can update this later. And if you do the pages and you used an old email, then you're gonna have to do some manual work, or you can just recreate them once you update the email. But as you can see here, this is what they look like. Not gonna go over all of this because neither you nor me nor the customer have ever read any of this information. It's just that it looks nice and people want to see it on a website. Okay. So once we do this, we are going to go to privacy policy, and we are going to do, oh crap. Oh, save it, save. Okay. So now I'm going to go to privacy policy. I'm going to do this, and I'm simply going to save it. Okay, once I'm done with privacy policy, now I go to terms of service. And I'm literally just copy pasting, guys. Copy, paste. All right, your shipping policy, again, you're probably gonna have to draft something yourself that can kind of let customers know what your policy is. I typically, I have something around the lines of There are no refunds if an item, right? So number one, well, I guess this is a shipping policy, not the refund policy. Excuse me. So the refund policy is already created. Excuse me, lost my train of thought. Is the actual shipping policy, which you can pretty much say that all orders are to be shipped 48 hours after being placed, right? So put something here that you think makes sense, right? For the sake of this, right? We put something in here that makes sense. Something around the lines of all orders get shipped after 48 hours of being placed, right? Nothing crazy, and it should suffice. Okay. So once you're done, you pretty much are gonna hit save. Crap, I hit the wrong save, and we are good at this point. Okay. So we have your terms, and you can see some of this are already pretty much populated. Your delivery policy, again, up to you if you want to have something there. I think shipping policy and delivery policy will probably be all one. So what I'm going to do is, for the sake of this, I'm just going to delete these because we're not going to use them in this scenario. But again, you can have them, and if you choose to, you're just going to have to input some information in yourself. But we're going to use the basic ones that Shopify provides us with, right? And obviously, this is track your order. This is going to be a different setup that I will show you later on. So we have the pages. Now, the next thing that I typically like to do once I create the pages, I then start creating collections, right? I start creating collections. And collections are pretty much different categories of items that you're going to sell. Now, this is all really going to vary, obviously, depending on the type of store that you're operating. If you're operating a single product store, then having collections doesn't make any sense because you're only focused on one product for that website. Maybe an additional upsell here and there. All right. If you are, in a niche store, if you're operating a niche store, then obviously your categories are all going to be based on that particular niche. So if you're doing makeup, you may have an I guess eyeliner, or lipstick category, or nail category, or whatever different categories fall within your niche, right? And what a niche is when you're actually focused in one particular category. So again, one product store is you're only focused on one product. A niche store, you're only focused in one category, which, let's say in this case, is makeup, right? So you're in your store, you're not going to sell anything that isn't related to makeup. What I typically like for newbies to start with is what's called a general store. Okay, now this is not the most effective way for the international market. Okay, so the whole purpose of this tutorial is more for the local market, right? And if you are drop shipping in the Philippines alone, then what I would recommend that you do is that you start to create a general store. And what a general store is, it's pretty much you are selling anything and everything. Okay, you're selling makeup, you're selling house, home and garden, you're selling kitchen product, you're selling tools, you are selling gadgets, electronics, pretty much everything and anything that you can think of, right? Now, why do I recommend that you start with a general store? Well, the reason is because it gives you a lot more flexibility. It gives you a lot more options to be able to start with, and test different products within different categories, and you're not bound to just sticking to one, right? Now, as you progress, yes, you can turn right that general store, or just create a different niche store if you already found something that you're very passionate about, or if you found something that you want to be able to build a brand and just kind of focus on that aspect of it, you can. But to start, I do recommend that you start with a general store. So because I recommend that, this tutorial is going to be based on a general store concept. So now that I've created the pages, what I'm simply going to do is I am going to go to the tab at the top left that says products, and I'm going to go and create collections in the collections tab. So all I simply have to do is click collections. Okay, there is homepage. I am going to delete this. And how do I delete this? I click it, I go to more actions, and I go to delete collections. This collection does me no good. So now there's absolutely zero collections created. So similarly to how we did with the pages, right? If you remember, right, you go to pages and you simply went to create page. You're gonna follow that same concept when you are dealing with, or I guess in the process of creating collections. So I go to collections, I'm just simply gonna go to create collections. Okay, now these things, again, I am going to name them. And let's say, for example, I do kitchen. Okay, kitchen. Once I create the collection, another important thing that I'm going to do while I'm here is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to create some tags. Okay, so I copy, I paste that here. Now, what is a tag? And why am I creating a tag within the collections, right? So the process is pretty similar, but there are some differences when it comes to the pages. Obviously, the fact that you're creating collections and not pages, and when you're creating collections, it's important that you create tags because this is going to make your life easier in the future. Once you are putting in a bunch of products, right, you can actually place them on each of the tags that you're creating. So I typically do this. I put kitchen, whatever the collection title is, I put it as the actual tag. And once that is done, I just hit save. Okay, so again, pretty straightforward process. I create another collection and I just start to get creative as to, what type of products you think you're going to be selling, right? I would always recommend that you have enough collections to not be tied just to a few different categories. So now we did kitchen, we're going to do home and garden. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. Put the tag, the home and garden on the product tag, and I'm going to hit save. Same thing. Let's do gadgets. Copy this, put it on the tag, save. Create another collection. Let's do, we're gonna do beauty. Okay, this encompasses all beauty products. Okay. Let's create another collection and let's just go with new arrivals. This is a very important one that all of you guys should have on all of your websites. And create another collection and we're going to do best sellers. Okay. Put it as my tag. And save. Now I'm just going to stop here, but obviously you can continue on depending on the total number of collections that you want to have on your website. Okay. So cool. We have done a lot of the heavy lifting, believe it or not, from the initial setup process. We obviously started, we have a Shopify 14-day free trial. We have uploaded a theme that's not going to be very ordinary in comparison to what other people are using, right? That theme that I'm giving you for absolutely free is pretty pricey in the market. So you have it for free. Once you've done that, again, I don't go to customizing anything before I create my pages and before I create my collections. And we have already done so. So now if I go back, you are going to see that the collections that I just created are now here, similarly to the pages. Okay, so awesome. right? Now, let's give it a quick look. Let's kind of show you the before and the after, right? Before and after. What does your website look right now? Because we've created the pages and the collections, but none of that information is actually populated here, right? See all of that. There's no menu buttons. There's nothing here, but let's go to mobile, right? If I go to menu, there's not a lot going on, right? No pages, no collections. Okay, cool. So now let's go back. So now that we've created our pages and our collections, what I like to do next is create my navigation menus, right? So what I'm going to do is, and pretty much what a navigation menu is that on every website there's a menu, right? At the top of the website, which was pretty much what I was showing you here, right? Let me go back to show you. I'll show you on the desktop version, right? So this is the navigation menu for the header, right? And there's always a navigation menu over here. This is a footer menu. As you can see, it says it right there. It's a footer menu, but that footer menu only has a search tab, right? Or a search page there, which I can search different products. But I've created a bunch of different pages that I want to be actually put on my footer menu. And obviously I want things to be populated on my header menu. So again, I'm going to go to navigation and I am going to see the footer menu and I'm going to see what I call the main menu. Okay. So now we are simply going to add the collections and the pages that we just created into these menus. How do I do that? Let's click main menu. We are going to delete this and delete this. Okay. So the few things that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to add menu item. I'm going to search by link and I am going to put my collections. The main thing that goes on your main menu are your collections and about two different pages that I do consider to be important. Now, this is a bit subjective. Everybody sets it up a little different, right? Just kind of giving you walking you through how I set them up and the things that I put on my main menu and the things that I put on my footer menu. So again, currently I am on my main menu and I'm just simply going to add a menu item. Once I click menu item, it'll give me this little pop-up here and I'm just simply going to click link and I am going to add some collections. Now, typically I'll start with bestsellers. Okay, now the bestseller collections is now added to my main menu tab. Click there again, I go to link, go to collections again. I'm gonna probably go with new arrivals. And again, this is all preference based, right? However you wanna set these things up, you most definitely can. And for the sake of just kind of speeding this up, let's just put them in any random order. So I'm just gonna follow the same process, right? Same thing, nothing changes. Collections. Okay, we're gonna go to kitchen. And once I'm done uploading my collections to the main menu, I will be uploading two of the pages that I created. Okay, so instead of going to collections, I'm gonna go to pages, right? Because I will be inputting those pages in my main menu. And those two things are, well, my contact form and pages, my track your order page. Okay. Now, again, all of these things, as you can see, you can move them around. Whatever and however you want to set them up, you most definitely can. Okay. Again, I'm going to pretty much go with bestsellers, new arrivals, track your order, and contact form right above it. Okay. Pretty straightforward. If you want to delete it, you can. If you want to edit it, you can do so by clicking. It'll take you to the actual page or collection, whatever it is that you are editing, right? And I will go to save menu. Okay. Now there are a few more features that you can do here, but I'm going to keep it very basic for now. Okay. So now I have my main menu set up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. And as you can see now, my main menu is populated with the collections and the pages that I created or that I want to go on my main menu. Now, on my footer menu, the only thing that I really want here, okay, and I can actually change this, right? So when people see it doesn't say main menu, one of the most common ones is quick links, right? So I can go to add pages, okay? Because what's gonna go on your footer menu are actual pages, not collections. On your main menu, it's gonna be a combination of collections and 2 pages, which again, personal preference. Some people don't put any of the pages up there. I do. It's really up to you, whatever floats your boat. It's completely your choice, right? But on the footer menu, you are only going to add pages, and the pages that I'm going to add would obviously be contact us, right? Privacy policy, refund policy, rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeats. Okay, and track your order. Okay, awesome. Save menu. Okay, now if I go back to this, you see this is what it looked like before, right? And this is what it looked like before. Let's refresh this sucker and see now the collections are now, because I just refreshed, the collections are now here, all right? And if I want to see what it looks like on a mobile version, oh, there you go. All right, so if I click menu, you will see these here, right? So this is what it looks like on the phone. And if I scroll down, quick links, this is what it looks like on the phone, okay? Okay, and obviously this is what it looks like here. Okay, so all of these are populated now with the quick links. And I don't know, did I see something here? Okay, I thought I saw what's up here. Okay, never mind. And here you are going to see the collections. Pretty straightforward, pretty awesome, right? Nothing crazy going on, but we already have our pages and we already have our collections listed. Now, obviously, we don't have any products yet, right? That's going to be pretty something that we do in a bit. But now you can start seeing some of the things that we just created reflect on the actual website. Now, if I go here, right? If I go to online store, now what I'm gonna want to do, right? And I can just actually edit homepage by clicking here. What I want to do now, and typically what I do after I create the pages, the collections, that is when I start to actually dive in and to start changing and updating the actual website with the banners and everything else that I want on here, right? So let's start with the header section, right? As you can see, if I click header, free shipping plus free returns. Free shipping plus free returns. Why? Because I am on the header tab, right? So instead of that, I can say free shipping plus COD nationwide, right? That's a whole lot better. Now I can actually change the phone number. Now, of course, you don't see the phone number on the mobile version, right? As you would see it on the desktop version, because there's not enough real estate right within the phone to show you absolutely everything. But if you click menu, then obviously that phone number that you see here will be reflecting here. So what do you do now? You simply add your phone number, right? You can just put whatever your phone number is, you can put that there. Awesome. Now, I don't select anything for this. For here, I wouldn't do so. This menu won't show on the drop down. I guess, okay. So obviously we have the main menu, right? So what is the main menu that you want to be selected? We obviously want the main menu. Okay, awesome. I think it was already default. Oh, it's twice already. As you can see, it was already default and then I added it again. So now it's doubled. So let's just remove it. And if I click menu again, okay, now it's only one. So don't touch any of this because it's already default as the main menu. If you add another one, it's gonna kind of double the menu and it's gonna look crazy. And again, this is obviously me kind of walking through. I think, yeah, I do believe this is the first time that I used this theme. But all right, cool. So now if I scroll down on the header tab, which is all part of this section here, right, the header, I can see the card icon. I can customize this icon, which will be right here, right? I'm hovering over it on the mouse. This is the card. If I want to have a card or if I want to have a shopping bag, okay? I would prefer a cart. Thank you. Okay, now I will be pretty much selecting a logo. Now, it does give you a recommended size that you should be using for your logo. So that should give you some guidance as to what is the size of your logo. There are a bunch of free pages that you can use to get free logos. If you know a graphic designer that is willing to help you, if you can do it yourself. Again, a logo is important on your websites. Just for the aesthetics of it, right? So here, let's go to this. We're going to select the logo. I am going to select this logo for one of my websites. So it's as simple as uploading whatever logo you have. And obviously, this is assuming that you already have a logo created, right? And as you can see, the logo has now been populated, or I guess added to the actual header, right? So secondary logo over content, this is optional. I'm not going to add an additional logo on there, but what would happen if I do? Let's see. And I guess I won't be able to see it on the mobile. So let's go to the full screen. What would it look like? Okay, so it'll pretty much put it here, I think. Let me see. If I remove it, what happens? Let's see. Also, it's still here. Okay. All right. So doesn't see much change. Obviously, it's optional. So nothing crazy. Okay. So this is the mobile version. And so, okay, this is for the desktop and this is for the mobile version. So they do have different dimensions, obviously. But let's just select the one that we have. Why not? Okay. So it seems that it's okay. I would like it to be a little bigger, to be honest with you. And I'm probably going to have to change that color on the banner just so it can stand out a little more. But okay. Secondary menu, show search. And as you can see, all of these things, right? And what I would always recommend is that as you're kind of working, that you are constantly saving. So as you work, save, because you will be surprised, you forget, you go to another tab, you close it, and then you have to do all of that work all over again. So not fun. Take it from experience, okay? But all right, here you can see enable secondary menu. Let's see what happens here. If I select this. Okay, so because I added the secondary menu, so it added the footer menu here, right? Honestly, I don't want that. I'm gonna remove it because the only thing that I want is this right here. Just looks a lot more cleaner, right? Hopefully you agree. If you don't, then hey, we just disagree. Fix sticky header. Okay, so what this does is if you see when I navigate, the header remains at the top. So if I untick this, what's going to happen is when I click, the header is automatically gone. I don't like that. Okay, I always want the header to be at the top. So make sure that this is ticked on or that you relieve it ticked on, right? That way, when you're navigating, people still have the option to see this header, which will let them know their cart. They can search a product if they like, and obviously go to the menu if necessary, right? So here, logo padding. So, okay, so menu position with the logo, line, menu position in line with the logo. Okay, so this one, leave it as is. And as you can see, guys, all of these little things are just things that you can tinker around with. Does this require any code? No. Does this require any previous experience in building a website? No. All it requires is your time and your effort of toying with some of these options, looking at, okay, if I turn this on, what does this do? If I turn this off, what does this do? And just playing around with it. It's nothing sophisticated, to be honest with you. You know, it is all straightforward stuff. So from the seams of it and from the looks of it, I am pretty much done with the header tab. I have nothing else that I really want to change. I've updated my logos. I put my phone number. I changed the right what I want people to see. I'm all set. Header is done. Okay. This main menu, honestly, I've seen this in quite a few themes. I don't ever touch it. So we're going to leave this as it is. And here it's going to say Turbo Shopify. And just for reference, this is by far one of the most complicated themes that I've used. Okay, most themes are a lot more simpler than this, and I was going to give you guys a booster theme that is really simple, but it's just so overused within the e-commerce space. So I wanted to give you something that's different, something that I've never done before as well, just so I can kind of see what it looks like, and I give you like an easy one, right? Because if you can do this one, then every other theme that you do, it's literally going to be a cakewalk, right? So I'm a believer in putting you in the fire and just having you learn the hard way. So okay, coming here. So we have this. So okay, all right. So this is going to be the banner section. Okay. As you can see, introduce me, right? Introduce the is right here, and then there's an image, which obviously is going to be the image up top. So let's actually create. Let's upload the image that I have ready for this and banner. See what it looks like. And again, so I recommend that you have a decent looking banner on your website, just so it can make your website, just stand out. See the difference, right? Look at the difference of a website with no banner or a bad looking banner versus a website with a decent looking banner. I would consider this a good looking banner. I personally like it. But again, it's all about preference, right? What you like, I may not like, so on and so forth. But whatever it is that you like, make sure that you have a nice looking banner that you like on your website, because it does a huge difference when it comes to the aesthetics of your site, right? Is it crucial? No. Do you have to pay to get one? No, you don't, right? You can do it yourself. Most people are not going to be actually on your homepage, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why later on. But I just always prefer to have a nice looking banner, right? Just to give my website. It makes me feel good and sleep easy at night when my website looks nice. Okay. All right, so I've uploaded a banner to my website, okay? And we haven't done any of the like customizations with the colors and everything else. This is just some basic stuff, right? So now I can pretty much start adjusting some of these things here, right? Whether I want it or I don't want it, right? As you can see, there is writing on pretty much all of these stuff, right? Exclusive. Okay, so if I remove that, see, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? Display solid text. What does this do? Enable background transparency. What does this do? I don't really see much of a difference there, so I'm not going to pay much mind to it. And here you can put, something catchy, right? Where is it? I guess, okay, this is the bottom section, so we're not going to be able to see it here. This is a whole different. This is a whole different tab, so that's why it's not here. So pretty much all of this is, as you can see, shop women. You can shop. What I would recommend here is that you probably do best sellers. That makes more sense, right? And new arrivals. That makes a lot more sense, right? So now I've changed this. I'm going to change the redirect, right? So I'm going to remove this, and I'm actually going to add, like when they click this, where am I sending them to, right? Do I want to send them to the contact page? Of course not, right? I want to send them to the collection, which I created, which has my best sellers, right? So when they click this button, it sends them to this link or this collection, right? If they click new arrivals, then of course I'm going to go to collections and I'm going to send them to the new arrivals. Okay, and I can probably leave this as is, and I think it still looks good. You can get fancy, of course you can, right? Welcome to vendor PH, right? Or you may come up with a tagline, right? Hassle free shopping with vendor. Right? If you like, again, all really on preference, whether you think that looks better or having it empty looks better. We're just gonna leave it right there. Hassle free shopping with vendor PH. And this is an actual store, by the way, right? Like this is actually the store that I'm going to be giving away. That's generated over 2.5 million pesos in sales. So that's why I'm comfortable kind of giving you guys the banner and everything else in the meantime. But for simplicity purposes, so it looks like we're done here. So again, right? Practice what you preach, save as you work. So bam, that is pretty much done with. Okay. Now, there's a lot of stuff here that I see as fluff that I'm not going to use, right? I'm not going to use a lot of this, guys. So, all right, the next thing that we see, and we're going to just kind of go from top to bottom and kind of work our way down, right? Energize your shop. Energize your shop. Is this really something that I'm interested in? Probably not. So if I want to remove a certain portion, right, just click this little I button and you can hide it. Right? Click it back and you'll be able to see it. Right? So feature collections. I don't like my collections that way. So let me hide this. Okay. What is this? Yoga block. I'm gonna hide it. Front page. I'm gonna hide it. Slideshow. Again, and you can put a slideshow if you want. It's really up to you. It's really up to you on how you want it to look, right? And how you can kind of go in doing so. Like let's say, for example, I were to click slideshow. Okay. If I click slideshow, you can see optimize for speed, right? If I click this, it'll bring me to a different section. Apologies, it appears that my computer died, unfortunately, so I had to kind of get everything set up again, or I guess connected and restarted, but we are back. And pretty much where we left off was on the slideshow section, excuse me, right? So, I guess prior to me kind of diving into more of the customization, something that I wanted just to kind of give you a little bit of a sneak peek of one of the websites. And if you don't know, right, at this current moment, there is a giveaway of a website that I've operated, and that website is pretty much Vendor PH, and you'll see here at the top on the top tab here. It is being given away, and just to kind of give you a visual, right, of pretty much one of the websites that I've operated. And one of the things that I'm a firm believer on is, the more simpler, the better, right? You do not need to have an overly complex just website. Not, I guess, within the local market, it's just not a huge necessity to have this just mind-blowing website. As long as you have a nice, clean, professional looking website, right? Nothing crazy. As you can see, a lot of it is just product driven, right? I have a banner. I have some collections here, similarly to what we just did on the theme, right? There are some collections, categories, and once the banner is over with, right, I go straight into best sellers. One of the things that I do believe on is that you have to put the product in front of the person. I've seen some websites that they make it really hard for the customer to find the product, right? When somebody is in your website, they're at your store. Pretty much look at it that way. They shouldn't have to be navigating through different pages and tabs to get to where the products are, right? I like to put the products right in front of them. You can't miss them. This is what we have. And I typically start with my best selling products, right? And then as you see, as I scroll down, I do have some little icons here, right? Just to kind of add something to the actual main homepage. And immediately I start giving them more products to be able to see. And hopefully one of these is something that piques their interest and they may want to buy, right? At the bottom here, we have some testimonials, right? We have a newsletter, again, some more icons. We have the footer menu here, and that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy, nothing extravagant, right? Simple, clean, nice looking. That is all you need. And this is very, very easily attainable with what we're kind of going over now. So just wanted to give you a visual of an actual website that I've operated. That website that you just saw, this one here, within a few months generated 2.7 million, and not being one of my primary stores, right? But 2.7 million from a simple, clean looking website. Okay. One thing that you do have to remember, and why the actual main homepage isn't the most important, that reason is because when you are generating traffic and you're pushing traffic to your store, you don't send people to your homepage, right? Because you are advertising a specific product. Give you an example. This was one of the best-selling items that I had on the store, and it was this air fryer, right? If I am advertising this air fryer, well, guess what? I'm not going to send somebody to my homepage so then they can get overwhelmed with all of these other options, and they may have been interested in the air fryer, but now they're looking at this baby toilet, and then they see this camera, and then there's so many things that they probably don't end up buying anything. There's something called analysis by paralysis or paralysis by analysis, one of those, probably murdered that saying. But when somebody has way too much to think about, they don't, right? If so many options, typically they don't end up picking anything. So if I am advertising, this particular air fryer, I'm sending someone to the product page. This is going to be the landing page that I'm sending them to. Why? Because I'm advertising for this product. The customer is interested in this product. So when they click my ad, it's going to send them here, not here, right? Make sure we understand that. When I'm advertising for a product and a customer clicks on my ad, when they click, they get redirected, they get sent to my website. I get to decide where I'm sending that customer. I will not send them to the home page. I will send them to the product page. Now, your product page should look very nice, right? You should have nice product images, crisp, right? Good definition, a lot of variety, right? With the actual product so they know what they're buying. It should have a good description, informative, right? Pictures, letting them know product information, right? Benefits, all this good stuff, to get this person to buy the product, right? So this is pretty much where you're sending them. So if you want to make sure, if you're going to focus on anything, make sure that you are focusing, right? And I mean, ideally, you would want to focus on everything and make sure your whole website looks nice. But if you're going to focus on one thing and one thing only, my thing, or I guess the thing that I would recommend that you focus on definitely would be the product page that you are sending your customers to, right? Obviously, we have an upsell here, okay? I'll talk about this later on, but just wanted to kind of dive a little deep into the logic of your website setup and just kind of give you a visual of one of the websites that I've operated, and obviously a website that I am giving away. So going back, right? We were pretty much at the slideshow setting, and I told you guys I was going to kind of work our way down. Now, what I'm going to do, really and truly, like all of this, you can take the time and customize it, put a bunch of things for your blog and about us. Most people are not going to read or focus on any of these sections here, right? Like all of this, you can. I personally don't. It's just not worth the time and effort for running a local e-commerce store as of the moment. Okay, and I'm gonna preface those statements by saying, as of the moment, you can get away with a simple, straightforward website like this. Okay, now, does it hurt to put more effort and work into your website? No. Do I see a massive return? I just don't see that at the moment. That's why I will honestly just tell you to, hey, listen, what we're gonna do is all of these, right? We're gonna keep what we actually need. So let me give you an example, right? I told you that if you want, these are all sections, right? And remember what we talked about, right? If you click any of these sections, it will take you to the section within the tab that you are customizing it, just so you can know what you're doing and you can get a visual of it, right? What I'm going to do really and truly is I am going to remove, or excuse me, not remove, but hide, right? Because if you see, if I click this little eye icon, it just hides that particular section within the home page. Okay. So now this is what I'm working with. I just went pretty bare. I will leave this contact form off on the website, right? And really what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a few tabs that I consider to be important and really what I'm looking for when I'm going to be creating this particular website. Again, I am not stopping you from coming in here and editing these options and just putting a lot of work to your website. Go for it. Pretty straightforward and simple stuff. But I will be just giving you a basic understanding to not have this video be 4 hours long. So what we're going to do is we are going to add a section, right? Because I just hid all of these sections that I'm not going to need, or all of these tabs that I'm not going to need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a section, and one of the tabs that I am going to have here is feature collection. Okay. So I'm going to select feature collection. I'm going to come back to this, right? I'm going to go back. And as you can see, feature collection has now been added. The last one that was added was contact form, or I guess the last tab was contact form. And I just added feature collection. So now what I will do is I will grab this, because I can move all of these around, right? Something to keep in mind if you want to kind of organize or set up your website differently, you can. I'm just going to do it like this, okay? All right. And we're going to populate this in just a bit. All right. So I got feature collection. I'm going to add another section and I'm going to do a collection list. Okay. Select. I'm going to change this because I'm going to have 4. It's only 3 right now. So I'm going to go back again. Right. Takes me to the same thing. Now it's been added here. Now I will put this. All right. And honestly, I can probably just put it under feature collections, but even if I don't, just because these are hidden, it will have the same effect, right? But just for the sake of simplicity purposes, we're gonna do this. So I've added feature collection, which are these right here, and I've added a collection list. What is the difference? A feature collection gives you pretty much let's say you're picking out your kitchen collection. Well, it's going to give you pretty much kitchen products, kitchen product, kitchen product, kitchen product, kitchen product, right? It is pretty much featuring a certain collection, okay, that you want your customer to see, all right? A collection list are just the pure categories like tools, right? Maybe that's one collection that you have. And we have here, okay, we have gadgets. So like we can say, okay, one of the collections that I want to put on my homepage that I know is going to do well, or I think is going to do well, is gadgets, right? So this is just going to be gadgets. When they click here, right, it is going to take them to the collections, or excuse me, to the gadget collection. And let's say on this collection, I want beauty products, right? So again, when they click this, it takes them to the beauty collection. On this one, let's say that I want kitchen or tools or home and garden or whatever, right? Whatever collections you decide here, it's pretty much, this is an entire collection, that we're going to add some images and some icons, which as you can see, I pretty much opened up this website that I use to get some icons, right? And we're going to talk about that in a bit. And the feature collection is actually detailing the products within a certain collection that you want the person to see. If it's kitchen, then you're going to have all of your kitchen products here, right? So hopefully that kind of explains the difference between a feature collection and a collection. So now that we're done doing that, we are going to add another feature collection. Okay. Select again, and once it's going to give me this option here where I will be customizing some of this in a bit, but we're going to do that in a little while. And then I'm going to be done with this. And I'm going to probably, just for simplicity purposes, again, I'm going to put it under this. Okay. So now let's go widescreen just so you can actually see it now. Okay. So bam, this is the banner page, right? Now, when a customer scrolls down, they're going to have a collection. And actually, let's go to mobile because I was telling you guys you should be editing this on your mobile. So let me actually practice what I preach. Okay, here we go. This gives you a better visual, right? So here you can see, okay, the website is now starting to take some shape, right? And it's going to look a whole lot different once we start putting products in here. Okay, so boom, we have the menu, which we created, right? This is our main menu. We got some bestsellers, and I'm actually going to be adding some more collections here because I just kind of sped through that to kind of show you. But we have our banner, we have our logo, right? Awesome. We have our main menu here. We have 2 different options. We can go to bestsellers, we can go to new arrivals. Once we come here, right, we got a feature collection. Awesome. These are all going to be products. So a customer is going to be able to see, okay, product. Here, we're going to give them some collections, right? We're going to add one more because as you can see, the standard default option came with 3. But you can see that this doesn't look nice because it doesn't look balanced. There's 3, so there should be 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That way this looks just a lot more neat. And same thing here. There's going to have to be a product that we add here, just so there's not like an empty blank space, right? So we're going to put some collections here and then boom, more products, right? So similarly to this, products. Put the products in front of the customer. Make it easy for them, right? They shouldn't have to be going to different tabs to figure out, like, make the things that you want to sell, the items that you want to get rid of in your advertising, right? Or that have a high profit margin, put them on your home page. And we're going to kind of show you how to do that later on. And then once that happens, what we have, easy way to get in touch. We're going to be customizing this as well. Simple stuff, right? So awesome. Let's save our work. And once we save our work, we are now going to, we're going to put some products in here. Okay. We're going to start putting some products in here. Now I got a little bit of a cheat sheet for you guys, because typically importing or having a bunch of products on your website can be the most daunting and time consuming aspect of this whole website creation, right? Like, what everything that we've done has taken less than an hour, right? And you can actually see your website starting to have some shape. Now, the thing that really consumes a vast majority of the time is populating your website with actual products, right? Like this is a lot of products. And I told you, your product should have definitely images, right? They should have descriptions. So if people are browsing through, they have a good description with GIFs and writing explaining the product. This is the time, or this is the thing, excuse me, that consumes a lot of time. Now, I've done you guys a solid, right? I've done you a favor. If you don't know what the solid means, I've done you a favor. What I've done is I have exported, and I have exported all, well, not all of them because it was a lot of products, but roughly about 80 to 70 products that I will be linking that file in the description of this video. And pretty much what we're going to do is we are going to import that list of products with all the images already, right? Like, that file is going to have images and it's going to have the description. Pretty much a lot of the hard work is going to be done, that way you can just have your website populated, right? And the good thing is that all of these products, okay, are actually within the application, right? So you're not going to have to worry. All of these products are in the application and are stored within our warehouses, right? So let's pretty much start populating some of this, right? Let's get something going here. So I've saved my work, right? Very important. Make sure that you save, and we're gonna just exit out of this. Okay, we're gonna exit out. Right now, what I will show you is how to create products manually. Okay, and how to import if you have a file like the one that I'm going to give you, which is just going to make your life easier. But obviously, for future products, you're going to have to do this manually. So how does this work? Let's kind of go through the manual process first. So if I want to customize, right, or I want to add a product to my store, what I will do is I'll go to products on the left hand side of your back end of your Shopify. So click this here. I'm going to go to products. Once I go to products, I will have a few options that kind of drop down, right? Again, we build collections right here, if you remember. Well, in this case, we're going to stay in products. As you can see, it's kind of grayed out. And what we're going to do is add a product if you're doing it manually. But if you have a file like the one that I'm going to give you, then you're going to import. It's like a batch. It's like a batch import. But in this case, let's just do a manual product, and we'll do about one or two, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to add products. Okay. Now, once I get to this section here, I will have pretty much a few options available, right? So what we're going to name this is just testing product creation. That's going to be the title, right? Obviously, you're going to name the product because this is the title, right? Air fryer 4.5 liters, right? So you're going to name the title of the product, whatever it is that you're advertising, right? So now we've done this, we're gonna do a testing product. We're gonna do a description, right? And again, this section here is your product details. This is your product description, okay? And I'm going to, give me a second. I'm just gonna copy paste one of these guys because it seems like it's a lot of work. Okay, so we're gonna go with this. We're just gonna copy this. Now, obviously, you would have to create a product description, right, for any new product that you're uploading. Now, one of the simple hacks that I like to do is just I like to go and find whatever product that I'm advertising, because I can pretty much be assured that someone is already selling it. It doesn't have to be someone in the Philippines. It could be like a US store that's selling that particular product. I can go to their website, I can copy the descriptions, and then I can just make revisions, right? Like their description is going to serve as somewhat of an inspiration for how I want my description to be. But you can kind of take some of the work that's already done on one of these websites and just recreate it and readjust it to your own taste, right? And you're probably going to want to do that because, there's a saying, right? If you want things done right, you do it yourself. So I'm sure you're going to have your own kind of style as to how you want the descriptions to be. But that is one easy way to just kind of eliminate a lot of the thinking, especially if you don't have any ideas, you don't know what to put. Go on Google, find who's selling your product, look at their website, and get inspiration from their descriptions, right? Very helpful. So I would highly recommend that you do that. In this case, just for this example, right, I went to my store and I just copied the description, right? And I'm just gonna put this as just for simplicity, so simple gauging. I'm just gonna put test so we know that this is the one that we created, okay? So boom, pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? All right, so now I have my title, I have my description. And again, you can change a lot of these things, right? Like there's a lot of options. You can add images here, right? If you want to add a certain image to your to your description, you can also just copy one from Google and paste it here. Does the same thing. You can insert a video with an embedment link. So there's a lot of different functionalities that I'm not going to get into because again, it's going to take too long. This is more of just a basic tutorial to get you set up. Okay. So once we have that, really what we're going to do now is we're going to need some product images. Okay. Now, very easy for you to be able to do this, right? You can find images on Google, you can find images on AliExpress, you can find images on Lazada, right? Images for your product should not be an issue, right? For the sake of this example, really what we're going to do is we're just going to save image as. What's happening? Well, it doesn't seem to be saving. So I'm just going to screenshot it. Now, I do not recommend that you screenshot, your product images just because your website can get really slow if you're just screenshotting and uploading. For the sake of this, because I don't know what's wrong with my computer, that is pretty much what I'm going to do just to save us the time. Okay. So once I go here, I can go to add images. And I have no idea why it's not allowing me. Give me 1 second. Let me save this. Because prior to this, I was trying to send something as well, and it wasn't allowing me to do it, like an attachment. So I think it's just something with my computer, to be honest with you. Yeah. So this is not normal. This is just my computer acting a little crazy, right? But whatever the case is, you're not going to have this problem that I can assure you of. I was trying to send messages and it wouldn't let me do an attachment either. So I probably just need to restart my computer and it should be fine. But for the sake of this, we just screenshotted the actual items, right? And now we are going to just upload, right? If you save it, whatever source you use, then you're just going to be able to add those images, right, to this particular section here. Let me try something. 1 second. Yeah. So it's just my computer acting up because it won't even let me do this. Okay. Very, very strange. But we're just going to assume that we've uploaded the images, right? You're not going to have an issue with this, so don't worry. Now, what we're going to do now is figure out, right, what's the price that you're going to, what's going to be your selling price. Now, let's just say that this item is going to be sold for 9,999, just as a pure example, right? So this is the selling price, and this is the price that the customers are going to see so they know, right? Okay, so the original price was 1,499, and now the price is 9,999. So it gives them the impression that the item is on sale. So I always recommend that you have a compared price. In this case, let's do 1,499. Okay, here you can actually put the cost of the actual item. Let's say that this item costs 200 pesos, right? So that means that you have an 80% profit margin, right? Not including your shipping, your handling fee, your ad cost, all of that, just based on the pure selling price, right? That is obviously dependent on the price that you bought the item for. So here it just kind of gives you an example, right? And it tells you that your profit margin for this is at the moment without the other expenses, roughly 800 bucks. You can pretty much say that, 799. Okay. So cool. We have our title, we have our description, right? Oops, sorry. Okay, now we've added our images, which again, still acting crazy. So it doesn't allow me to add the images. And at this particular point, right, we have our price or compared price. We have the cost of the item. This is optional, by the way. You do not need to put this. I just did to give you an example. And here, what we're going to do is we are going to add the quantity available for this item. Let's just say that we have 100 in stock. So you're going to just put 100. Now within the app, you're not going to have to worry about the quantity. You're not even going to be able to edit the quantity. Why? Because you don't control the product, right? Or the inventory. That's going to be automatically done within the app. But if you are doing e-commerce by yourself, right, and you're kind of doing self-fulfillment, then you're obviously just going to put here however many items in stock you have available, right? Typically, what I do, I just put a huge number, right? Or I can just put continue selling when it's out of stock, just because if you put the exact amount, right, and you sell out, but you know you can get more, your sales stop because the customer will not be able to buy, especially if they're going to your website, it's going to say out of stock, right? So either you can just select this, right, and put the actual quantity here. That's probably going to be the best option for you. Or you can do what I do, where I just put like this just crazy number, so I don't ever really have to worry about it if I don't check this little box or if I forget. But this will do the trick, so you will still be able to sell the item. The customer will not know that you do not have any more stocks within your warehouse, your house, wherever it is that you're stocking your items, if you are not using Inspire application, of course, right? So, all right, we'll do 100. Awesome. None of this is something that you're going to have to worry about. Okay. And the tags. If you remember, right, when we were creating our collection, so let's actually go to our collections. Okay. Where is it? Let's go to, we're going to say that this is a gadget, right? Just for the sake of this, we're going to say gadget. Okay, remember there were some product tags. And I told you that when we were creating the actual collections, right, you would create a tag, okay? And that tag is gadgets, right? So now when you are doing a product, right, or when you're creating a product, all you really have to do is put gadgets. This product will automatically be populated, okay, in the actual tags that you created. So, right, pretty straightforward. So making sure that you have those tags does save you some time. You can also do it on the collection section, right, where you can actually just drop it into collections. I prefer to create those tags, right? So, okay, we have it here. So this is automatically going to go to or gadgets collections, right? And we're pretty much done at this point, right? Assuming you have your images, your product description, you have your product title, you have your price, your compared price, you have the item listed as available, because if you leave this at zero, then you're not going to get any sales, because when people go to the actual product, it's going to say that it's out of stock. Okay, so we're pretty much done. The last thing that we need to do is select this drop down, right, and put this as active, because right now the product status is in draft. What this means is that you will not, if you leave it in draft, you will not be able to see it in your collections, or it's not going to be visible to the customer at least, right? So you want to make sure that once you are done with this, you are activating, right, and putting the product as active. Once you do that, okay, you are pretty much done with this product. Okay, now let's go to collections. Let's go to gadgets. As you can see, right, and again, I'm going to go back because I probably did that too fast. If I go to my collections, these are the collections that I created. If I want to see what products are in this collection, or these collections, I should say, right? Let's go to gadgets. And guess what? Here is the product that I just created, right? Obviously, it has no image, it looks a little ugly. But because I put the tag, it automatically transferred that product to my collection, right? Pretty straightforward. And that is pretty much how you are going to create products. If you want to do another one, you just go to add product, right? If you want to do another one, you go to add product, add product, add product. This is how you're going to do it manually, right? If you're not using the app. Obviously, if you're using the app, it is going to be as simple as importing, right? And it's going to automatically do all of the hard work for you. This is in the event if you are doing self-fulfillment, or if you're just testing and you want to kind of do it yourself, right? And you want to have products readily available that are not sold within the app. Again, this is pretty much how you're going to do it. Now, this is obviously the manual way, right? And guess what? You're gonna have to do this, right? And let's go here. Let's go to online store, right? So this is your website. This is the website that we're creating, right? If I go to gadgets, okay, I haven't publicized the product yet. Okay. So this should be reflecting the actual product, but it's not. So we'll do that. Give me a second. Okay, so I'll get back to that in just 1 second, but I'll show you pretty much what that's going to look like. Okay, now let's just continue on so I don't lose track of what we're doing. So what I'm going to do now is what I will do in the files that I've given you is I've given you some import files. So all you're really going to have to do, again, the files are in the description. Okay, the files are in the description. It's going to be as simple as downloading this and following what I'm doing right now. Okay, so awesome. Let's go to import. We're going to go to add file. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to have to pause the video here and restart my computer, guys, because we're not going to be able to get very far if I'm not able to upload the image. So give me a second. All right. Well, you're not going to realize that I'm gone. I'm just going to restart. Pretty much I restarted my laptop and everything seems to be working just fine. So I am actually at the product page because one of the things that I was having a little bit of an issue was uploading an actual picture, right? It wasn't allowing me to. So after I restarted my laptop, it seems to be working just fine. So just to kind of give you the visual example of it, right? Once this is pretty much when you're creating your product manually, as we were discussing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my product and I'm simply going to import, right, an actual image, which we're going to just do this one. We're going to do these three. So, right. So once that is uploaded into the actual product, at that point we're pretty much set, right? It is in active status. All that is good. There's nothing for you to save here. When you upload pictures, it automatically saves itself. Some of these other changes will require you to hit the save button, but in this case, we're all set, right? So now, what I wanted to show you was, let me see. All right, so this is the website, right? As you can see from earlier. So now when I go to gadgets, okay, as you can see now, and actually it was here before when I last, well, I guess when I pulled up, when I get hit gadgets, I didn't do any changes, but I wasn't able to see it because it wasn't in the image, so I missed it, but it is here, right? And pretty much I have added a product to one of my collections, which in this case, it is gadgets, right? So that is going to be the manual way on how you are able to create products. And obviously that'll be in most cases when you're testing out a product, right? You're going to be able to, or you're going to have to be able to do this. Now, as I mentioned previously, I have two files that I've given you guys with about 70 something products, which is going to, I guess, take away a lot of the hard work, right? So at least your website can be populated because you definitely want to, have quite a variety of products, right? And even though you may not have all those products, on hand, especially if you're not using our services, right? And you're doing self-fulfillment, where you're probably asking yourself, well, how can I populate 50 items? Does that mean that I'm going to have to buy 50 of these products so I can have on my website? The short answer to that is no. Okay. Because remember what I said earlier, the people that are going to your website it's paid traffic, right? Because of an ad that you're running. So they're going to go directly to your product page. Not many people are going to browse around your website, right? Some do, and they'll buy something that isn't in stock, right? Or I guess that you don't have available within, your warehouse or however it is that you're operating. So that does happen sometimes, and all you're going to have to do is, number one, try to find that product to see if you can ship it out to that customer, pretty quickly, or just let that customer know that the system wasn't updated and that product is not available or it's not in stock, right? But you definitely want to have, I would say, 25 to 30 products at the bare minimum, just so it can have, excuse me, just so it can have some different, some type of variety, and your website doesn't look just blank and empty with two products, right? And I've seen that, browsing around and just looking at people's websites, they'll have two items on there. And it's not like a one product store, it's a typical general store, but they just didn't take the time to populate it because, again, it does take time. And I was able to realize, by the way, that it's really echoing here because it's a pretty bare office space that I got. So do bear in mind the audio quality for this particular video. Things will get better as we progress and get settled into this new home that we're living in now. But going back to this, right? What you're going to do with the two files that I've given you And hopefully I've answered your question. If you're doing self-fulfillment, if you're going to have all these products on hand, the answer to that is no. You just want to have products on your store just so it can look so it can look a little bit more filled up, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to import, right? Because we're not going to be doing manual product creation for the rest of these examples. We're going to go to import and we're going to go to add file. There you go. It's working. So what am I doing here? Add file. Why is this? Ooh, gonna have to give me 1 second. So it looks like I didn't save it in the proper format. Yeah, give me 1 second. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna grab all of these. This is fine. I'm actually importing them as we speak or exporting them as we speak, so hang tight. Okay, exports. We're gonna do these products, plain CSV, and I'm doing it on another monitor, guys. So bear with me. Export products. Okay, we should be set now. Product exports. And why is this not working? Give me a second. Oh, here it is. Got it. My apologies. Seems like I did not have the proper format, but I do now. Awesome. Here we go. We're all set. Apologies for the delay here. All right, so let's import these babies. And we are going to go with this. Okay. So once you import it, right, you are going to just go to upload and continue, guys. So once this loads, let's see. Okay, awesome. You're just gonna go to import, disregard this. And it's gonna take about, depending on your internet speed, as I mentioned, my connection is not the fastest at the moment. So, depending on your connection, it'll take a few minutes to be able to fully populate, right? But once it's done populating, then pretty much what you'll see here on the screen, right? You're not just gonna have the simple gauger. It's gonna be pretty much all of the products that you've imported with the product description, with the product images. There is going to have to be some manual changes that you do to them, but the job is going to be pretty insignificant, in comparison to all the hard work that you would have had to do in finding these images, creating the descriptions, the pricing, all of that is pretty much done for you, right? So, prior to, I guess, or while this loads, one of the things that I would like to do, and let's just go to customize, and we'll just check on this to see, because it's probably going to take a little bit. Now that we're on the actual website, right, and you can see products are starting to populate now, right? Because I do have tags on the products that I have imported, so they're automatically going to the gadgets, right? So let's see if we go to home, right? We're probably okay. So what we will do, let's go to bestsellers. Let's see what happens in bestsellers. There you go. You see products are starting to populate on your website. Okay. And this will take a little while, so because it is in progress. But what I do want to do now is let's just go back, and there's a drop down right here, right? So if you're ever in a position that you need to go back, you can just go to the drop down. You can just simply click home page, right? And you will go to the home menu and the home settings, because all of these have different type of tabs that you can adjust. Obviously, we're on the home page, so these are the settings on the left hand side in the tabs that you're going to be able to adjust for the home page. If you want to adjust the product page, you're going to do that here. In a collection page, collection list, your cart, all that is something that we're going to do today. So what I wanted to do was on this featured collection, right? So there's nothing that we're going to touch here at this particular point, right? So we're going to just kind of move past this and we're going to go to the feature collection. So again, I will click on feature collection and I am now at this section here. Obviously, I don't have any products selected here because I don't have a collection that I want to feature, right? So what you can do is you can change the name of this if you like, right? And let's say, for example, you want to feature your kitchen items, then obviously you're just going to put kitchen collection, right? Pretty straightforward, and you'll see that this will populate pretty soon. So this is loading again, the internet connection. It's not the best at the moment, but what happened? I don't know what happened. Okay, kitchen collection, and there you go. So kitchen collection is now populated. I'm just literally going to leave it as, ooh, what is going on? Okay. 1 second, guys. Feature collection. I'm going to leave it as feature collection, right? And what I will do is I will pretty much select one of the collections that I want, right? What collection do I want to be my featured collection? Now, personally, right, I will typically put, even though I already have bestsellers right here, right? I already have bestsellers right here. I will typically still put my bestsellers just in display, right? Just because I want them to be able to see this particular product. And it all really depends at the end, right? Because again, if you are, in the kitchen and that's like your heavy, like your best item, then you may want to put your kitchen, right? I just put bestsellers as a personal preference, right? So once I go here, pretty much I'm just going to select what collection I want to be featured, right? So we're going to go to bestsellers and then I will go to select, okay? Now you can see, right, that because I selected bestsellers, this is now populated because again, these items, right, are still continuously in progress of being imported, but it automatically, is automatically putting them on my actual website, as you can see here, right? Again, all of these are sold out. Some of these things you're going to have to do manually, which is put the quantity. Again, if you're doing, your own fulfillment. But the good thing is that we already have products that are populating. And if I want to go to the mobile version, which is pretty much where I should be, this is pretty much what you will be seeing. Now, granted, this does not look the best at the moment, right? So, but we're going to change all of the aesthetic so it just looks a little bit more pleasing to the eye, and all of these things are not like this balance because it just looks weird. But we're making progress. We got some products lined up. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So, what I want to do, really and truly, is I want to figure out, okay, how many products I want to list, okay, how many products I want to list on my feature collection. And honestly, it's supposed to be featured collection. So I missed a D there. Okay, featured collection. Okay. So pretty much what I need to decide is how many products I want to show. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 4 rows. Okay. 4 rows. And I am going to do a total of 16 products. I want to keep it at an even number, right? 4 rows at 16 products. As you can see, because I selected 16, now there's not like an empty space here, right? And how would that look on your actual, okay, so 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 products, right? 4, 8, 12, and 16. So 16 total products right? 4 rows, as you can see. That obviously you're not going to get that same experience, right, on your phone, because you're not going to be able to fit 4 rows in here. But it will give you just a total of 16 products. So you're just going to continue just to bring them down, right? And again, you want to put these products in front of your customer. All right, so awesome. We're going to put that there, okay? And we're going to leave everything else as is. So we're going to leave the grid, okay? And we are going to leave that here. So we're just going to go ahead and save our work, okay? Now that we're done with our feature collection, right? And I'm sure this is still, okay, so all the products have been imported, right? Or I guess the first file that we want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the other file now. I don't recall which one is that we imported. I don't recall, but we're just going to go with this. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to select the file that I want to import. And at that point, I'm just going to go to upload and continue. Okay, and it's going to probably take a few minutes to be able to do that as well. And oh, so it looks like this is the same file. So we're going to cancel this. We're going to go to import and we're going to select the file that we have not imported. Okay. All right, awesome. So while that loads and that imports, it should be pretty quick. Okay. Oh crap, what am I doing? I think this is actually the one that I imported. Oh God. This is why you should name them. Naming them will be very, very helpful. So you don't have to go through what I'm just going through right now. But anyway, this is just an example, so not a big deal. So pretty much, right, we are done here. We've saved our work. Awesome stuff, right? Ooh, where am I? Okay, we're just we're gonna import these. All right, cool. So now what I want to do is, right, so I got my feature collection out of the way. I am going to go to collection list, okay? Again, done with feature collection. I am now going to go to collection list. When I go to collection list, as you can see, right, because I'm on a mobile version, it's only giving me 3, right? Not, it doesn't look good because there's an empty spot or a blank spot right here. So simply what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a collection, okay? And the collection that I am going to select, and as you can see here now, it's populated with 4, right? Pretty cool stuff. Now I have 4 collections and it just looks aesthetically more pleasing and balanced, correct? It's not an empty blank spot right here. So now I'm really just going to, pick which of these collections, right, I want to be in my actual collection list. And again, I have very limited collections. You can pretty much go as many collections as you want: beauty, mommies and babies, kitchen, gadgets, tools, home and garden, cars. All are different collections, right, that provide a lot of good e-commerce and drop shipping products to be able to sell. So I gave you very limited, or I guess I created a few because it's just from example purposes. But in this case, right, we are going to work with what we have. And what we're going to do is we're going to select a collection and we are going to add an image to our collection, which is why this little website is going to come in handy to help us out. Okay, so we can add an image icon to that particular collection. So in this case, let's go with gadgets. Okay, and if you don't add an image, then you're pretty much your first product that's on the gadget collection is going to be the one that pops up, right? So I'm just going to fill these out for now. I'm going to add an image a little bit later. So we're going to do home and garden. Okay. Awesome. Now of course, we're gonna do kitchen, right? Select, go back. And the last one, we are going to do beauty. Okay, cool. So that is pretty much set, and let's save this work just to make sure nothing weird happens, right? Now, really what you want to do is you just want to come here, right, and just put a, find a gadget. Now, ideally, right, you would want, and this is free for the most part, right? Some of these are paid, the ones that you see have a little crown, right? But ideally, what you would like is all of your icons to kind of match, right? You don't want to have a bunch of different icons. You want them all to match ideally. So now it's just really coming here and finding an icon, right? And then you can actually put real images of gadgets, right? That's definitely an option. Again, I would do icons, but you can do either or. Let's look, for example, purposes. Let's look at this one. So we have this. So I can simply just download, free download. Okay, awesome. Right? So okay, I have a gadget icon selected. If I come here, let's go to gadgets and let's just select an image. I'm not sure how that's gonna look completely. Hopefully I don't have to resize it. Okay. All right, so gadgets. Okay, now let's say I want to do, can I learn how to spell? Kitchen. Right? So kitchen, let's say for example, let's just go with this one. Okay. And again, you can take your time and figure out those perfect images that you may want. Okay, over here. There we go. Okay, and now let's do beauty. See what we find in beauty. Seems like, oh, let's go with this. And I'm going rather quickly here, guys. So, of course, you will work at your own pace. Let's do beauty, select, upload. Hopefully, you guys are getting how this all works. Okay, awesome. And now we're just going to need something for home and garden. Hopefully, there's an icon for that. We're hoping home and garden. Home and garden, home and garden. Is there anything interesting for home and garden? Decisions, right, guys? Well, honestly, I'm just for the sake of this quick tutorial, I'm just gonna pick anything really, something that matches. Let's just go with this one, just because it reminds me of my house. So free download. Okay, cool. Select an image, upload. Where did it go? House. And we are pretty much set with our collection list. Okay. Where am I? Select. I'm going to hit save. Right. And now, as you can see, okay, just kind of walk you through, right? We have our banner, bestsellers, new arrivals, right? What happens if we click here? Is there anything in this, right? So these are the new arrivals that have been populated on the website, and we see that we don't have that many products, but this should definitely help you at least, okay? And if I go back, if I go to, what did I do? All right, let me just go to home. Okay. And all these are pretty much done at this point, right? We got feature collections. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Now we have our collections here, right? So we have product, which are bestsellers, and we have additional collections. So if somebody wants to figure out what's in home and garden, they can do so. Beauty, right? Kitchen, all this awesome stuff. If they click this, what does this do? Where does this take them? It takes them to all kitchen products, right? Why? Because I have tags that I've put on there that are for kitchen. All right. Awesome. So we're now done with the collection. And what now we're going to do is we're going to go to the last one, which is our featured collection, right? Now, what is this one going to be? Let's see. What can we have it be? I would probably say we can have this be what? What do we want to feature? Um, we can probably say not bestsellers. We already got bestsellers up there. We can probably show people maybe, a category that isn't here, right? So let's just do tools. Do I have tools? Or I actually don't have tools as a collection. And just for the sake of this example, we're just going to go beauty, right? Let's go to beauty and we're going to select beauty here. These are all beauty products. Okay. Again, right? Because I want as many products as possible, and I can do more, obviously, so I wouldn't say as possible because I can do 50, but I don't want to drive people crazy with that many products. So again, I'm just going to stick to 16 by 4. Make sure that when you're doing a feature collection, you are selecting how many rows you want, right? And how many total products you want on that featured collection. All right. So we did that. Let's make sure we save our work. And look at that. Okay. Guess what? We already have a lot of our website kind of done with. And obviously, there's a lot of fine tuning that we're going to have to do. But at this particular point, right, we have products, right? If we click a certain product, what happens? Oh, we have images. Pretty neat. We have product descriptions. Okay, awesome. Right, this should help you out tremendously. Okay, what is this product? Right, you have images, more than enough, right? You have descriptions already made. You cannot beat this. Okay, all right, awesome. So now what? Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to go to the other section here, which is our contact form, right? So remember, all of these things are hidden, right? And we put these things in order. We got our feature collection done. We got our collection list done. We have our second feature collection, which in this case, we put it as beauty. That's done. Okay, so now the last thing on our homepage that we're going to focus on, right, is going to be the contact form. Okay, the contact form. Now, what do you want ideally on this contact form? Well, typically, okay, what I do is I will keep you're probably gonna have to change the wording of this, right? Easy to easy with well, not this probably is fine. Easy content for choose homepage, make it easy for shoppers. Obviously, you're gonna edit this because you don't want people to read this. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna send us an email, drop down, text area, and checkbox. What is this checkbox? Checkbox, excuse me. So yeah, we do not want this, right? So we're gonna remove checkbox. We don't want the checkbox. Okay, and that leaves us with just this. Okay, now all you have to do if you want to put content on here, just click email, and then obviously it'll say email and enter your name here or enter your email here where you're not going to change any of that, right? Drop down. This is pretty much what they're going to see, right? Where did you find us? Facebook, Instagram. You can see these options are the options here, right? So that's fine. You're not going to change any of that. The text area, message and text, you're not going to change any of that. So this will remain as is, right? Unless you want to change it. Now, right, you can put here easy way to contact us. I will leave that the same, right? And now it's just really figuring out what you want, right, to say here, if anything at all, right? Like, is it absolutely necessary that you have any text in here? No, not really. I think easy way to contact us should be more than enough if you ask me. So what you can do is just simply delete this, right? And you can just enter the email that you want people to contact you, which will be whatever email you want, right? You will put that here, and you can see that whatever I'm typing here is also being populated here, okay? You can put your phone number here, right? Put testing at gmail.com. Testing at gmail.com. Contact page, read more on our contact page. You leave that the same, not a big deal. Text position, let me see. This would be on the left, that's fine. All of this would be pretty much the same, right? Here it gives you an option to put your logo. So let's put our logo. Why not? There you go. Looks a lot nicer. All right, so all of these things are pretty self-explanatory, guys. Just put your info on here and you should be fine, okay? And this one I would probably delete. This is just not necessary. The information is already here on the contact page, so you should be fine. All you want is your email and your contact number if you so choose to. You're not mandated to do it, right? And they have an option to send you an email directly on your homepage, which is very, very helpful, right? And you are all set. Cool. So now guess what? We are done with our contact form. Now all it's time for you to do is adjust your footer. Right? Oh, let me see, where's my mouse? Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to come to your footer and you're going to put what you want on here, right? So we're just going to untick this, show theme designer, remove this, right? Show payment icons, we're going to remove this, and we're also going to remove powered by Shopify, which I'll show you how to do that in the other section. Okay, it's not going to be done here. So now what do we want? Well, let's go to, what do we find here? Logo, search, contact us, refund policy. Honestly, we don't want this menu. Remove this menu. Remove this menu. It's too much information, right? Let's see. Courtesy. There you go. Literally all they need is these quick links right here in case they want to navigate or find something, they will be able to do so. So again, the logo, right? Which I guess we're gonna have to put it again. Select logo, awesome. See our logo is just everywhere, right? And you are all set. You got your quick links, right? This is the menu. You obviously have the quick links menu selected. And guess what? We are all set. Let's save this. And you are pretty much done with your homepage, right? You've done everything that you need. Now it's just customizing some of these things so it looks better, right? Like changing the color, right? Changing what you want people to see. All of that, it is pretty easy to do. So that is pretty much what we're going to do now. Hopefully you're catching along. If not, please pause the video, go back, watch it again if you need to. A lot of this is, as you can see, pretty self-explanatory and easy things to follow along with, right? Nothing overly complex. There's have not put a single code in, right? Nothing crazy. Everything is pretty straightforward. Okay. So now what? Well, one of the things that I'm probably going to want to do is start working on my product page, right? What does my product page, what do I want to be displayed on my product page? Well, what I'll probably want, give me a second, what I would probably want, and where is my, so the header, none of this is going to change. Okay. All of this remains the same. So you're not going to have to worry about the header section here. This main menu, I don't think there's nothing important that you're going to need to change here. All this will remain the same. So again, no changes to the header, no changes to the main menu. Okay. All going to be pretty standard settings that you're going to leave on there. Now, the thing that you're going to do now is go to the actual product, right? So you're going to go to the product. Now, what you're going to do is literally just leave the setting options that I leave, and you can toy around with them, right? You can toy around with what you want to see, show breadcrumb links. This is pretty much this right here, right? So I can either have that turned on or have that shown off, right? So again, as you can see. So it lets them know home, product, and obviously where they are. Really a personal preference. Do you want this on? Do you want this off, right? Do you want to show vendor? I don't. Do you want to show the SKU? I don't. Do I want people to see, right? And obviously the price seems to be missing in action. Oh, because it's sold out. But anyway, we'll change that. Do I want to see the show price savings? I do. Do I want to show the collections? I do. Do I want to show the social media icons, right? Where is that? Where is that? I have no idea. Okay, so this is, I don't know why this is at the bottom. We're going to change this, so not a big deal, because this should be at the top right under the images, right? Just because it makes it easier for people to buy so they don't have to scroll all the way down and add to cart. That will kill your conversions, right? So do I want to show this? I do not want to show that. Okay, as you can see, now it's gone. If I click it back, now it's there. Now it's gone. Okay. Why don't I want that? Because I do not want additional distractions for the customer, right? I don't want them to get curious and try to see my Facebook page and do all of this extra stuff, which only leads them to potentially not buying. I want to keep them on my product page. I spent a lot of money on ads to get them to my product page. So I definitely want to keep them here and not have them wander off anywhere else. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to description position above the product form or below the product form. We are going to select below the product form. Why? Because what I just told you, we want this to be under this, right? We do not want this to be all the way at the bottom, right? That will not make a lot of sense. So we want it to be below the product form. Okay. Now, once we're done doing that, we're going to select, right, a few of these settings here, which is show arrows on the product gallery. These are these arrows that you don't see here because the color is white, but we're going to change those colors in a bit as well, just so they can stand out and pop just a bit. So we definitely want that. Do we want this magnifying product images? This is this annoying thing that just zooms in. I don't like it. I think it's annoying personally for me. So I am going to untick this. And so when someone hovers over it, it's not zooming in the image. Again, that's only going to be applicable if they're using a desktop, right? On a phone, that's not going to really matter. Okay, enable product gallery slideshow. I'm just going to take this off. Okay, and I think this is at the bottom, like galleries and all of this. I typically don't like to add any of that information there, right? So let's see, what else do we need? So gallery transition slideshow. I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, this stuff is the products. It's like this, like recently viewed items, right? You can have like a gallery of other products. I don't do it. I have upsells that I do for that, so I'm not gonna select any of that. Um, So now what I want to do is, let's see. So the gallery position would be the left, right? I will leave this as is. No changes here, no changes here. Okay. Show recently viewed products. Do I want them to see the recently viewed? Probably gonna have to go with a no, just because I don't want to have that much real estate already on this, right? You may also like, probably gonna have to remove that as well. Recently viewed, okay. Okay, so that is off. That is off. Anything else? Anything else? Okay, there you go. I think it's still there. Oh, I don't know what I just took off, to be honest with you. What was that? Just gonna put this back just because I'm not sure what that did. Okay, just gonna leave that as is. All right, awesome. So we got a lot of our settings done, right, within the actual product, like what we want the person to see on the product. So we're gonna go back now, but we're gonna save this. Okay, and now we're gonna do to recommended products, right? Recommended products. Let's see what happens here. Recommended products. Well, I guess this is this. You may also like, right? You may also like. Do I want that off? Show dynamic recommendations. I do not. I will pass on this. And if I do, I don't want a grid. So this is a grid, right? Like the grid is the actual products here. So let's go with the slider because it doesn't seem that I have a way of taking that off. So let's see what the changes are. So we're making changes on you may also like, which is right here. You may also like. I do not like a grid for these type of things, especially if I'm being forced to show it where it appears that I am, because I don't know where to take that off. But we're just gonna let this, as you can see, it's loading, and we're gonna see the difference, which is probably it's gonna be like a slider. Just I think it's gonna just look a lot more appealing. Let's see. Let me save this. What happened? Oh, is it gone? It's gone. Okay, awesome. Right? I didn't want it there in the first place. So okay, cool. It appears that it is gone, which is awesome. Honestly, all I really want, guys, on the actual product is the product, right? I'm gonna have an upsell anyway, so I'm not worried about getting additional items to be purchased. I have upsells that I have for that. And okay, awesome. So now that we're done with the recommended, we're gonna go to newsletter, right? Newsletter. Now, what do I want on this newsletter? Why display? And this is this right here. So sign up for a newsletter. I'm probably gonna say get discounts. Right? Get discounts. Think that makes sense. People want discounts. Get a sneak peek. I'm not gonna do any promos. I can probably say get a sneak peek on our upcoming promos. I think that's more than enough. Okay, and I definitely want this to be centered. So I don't like it on the left like that. So I'm gonna go center. There you go. I think that looks better, right? Do I have an image for this? I do not, and I do not want to put an image. So our newsletter, that's gonna be this, right? We're gonna save it. And once this is saved, man, this internet kills me. But anyway, once this is saved, we're gonna go back and now we can adjust the footer section here, but there's probably not gonna be a whole lot of things that I'm going to adjust here. I'm going to, let me see. Yep, I'm gonna leave this as is. No changes, okay? So awesome. So our product page is now all pretty much completed at this point, right? Still some changes that we're gonna do eventually, but nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Um, so, all right. So we did our homepage, we did our product page. Now let's work our way down to our collection pages, right? And this is definitely something that I want because I don't like these images, right? On the collection pages. Like I'm just not a fan of them. Just not something that I've ever enjoyed on none of my websites. So what we will do is we're not going to do anything on the headers again. We're not going to do anything on the main menus. I believe menu collections. I don't think we're going to do anything here. Columns, shop, probably going to remove this. So I don't know why this link is there. That's not taking people anywhere. Okay, what else do we need? Okay. So yeah, that I think I didn't even have to do that. So disregard that. So yeah, no changes on the mega menu, right? All that seems to be fine. Now let's just go to the actual collection tab. Now, what do we want here? Do we want to show collection title? Yes. Do we want to show let me see. Is this what I want? Show collection title, show. Enable sorting. I'm gonna go with no. Enable sorting. I'm gonna go with no. Sidebar. Okay, so this is this right here. That is this right here. Okay, so this is a simple fix. Simple fix. Remove all of this crap. Remove. 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 And we're set. Awesome. Right? So we removed a lot of the unnecessary fuzz. Show. Let me see. Show. Nope, I don't want the image. This is what I wanted to be removed. Okay, awesome. Right. So when somebody actually goes to the collections, there's not like this big image unless you want it. Right. Like if you want a kitchen image, then you can just upload one here. Right. Give you an example. Let's say this one is the one that you want to use, right? Then you can do that if that floats your boat, and then you can just select here. And then obviously this image would be the one that pops up here, which I don't know why it looks like that. I personally don't like it. But again, it's just all a personal preference at this point. I like it to just go straight to the product, nothing crazy, simple, easy. And that's just pretty much what I like. And here, well, how many products do we want? Well, I'm probably gonna go with the standard of four. And we're gonna just do 20, I guess. Nothing, I mean, that's fine. Okay, show breadcrumbs, show collection title. And do I want the title? I mean, it already has it at the top. Let's see what happens. How does it look without it? Honestly, I think I like that better. Okay, I'll go with this. I will go with this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just save it, right? So it looks like I should be pretty much done with the actual collections. So what's next? Collections list, and or cards. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see. And I don't know why this is taking so long, man. Really frustrating. Let me check my internet. Oh crap. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. I have to book a Lala move. Bear with me. Hey, let's see. All right, I have no idea why this is taking so long. So we're just gonna go back. If it doesn't save, then it doesn't save. So do we have a banner right here? It looks like we do. We have a newsletter. Okay, so we're not going to change any of this, and we're not going to change any of this. All right, I'm going to leave that as is. So cool. We are pretty much done with our product pages. Now, what we want to do is go to our, let's see, collections list. What is here? Collections list, bestsellers, new arrivals, kitchen products. Um, this is fine. I'm not going to make any changes to this. This is going to be just an overkill. Okay. How about carts? Let's do cart. Okay. So what happens? This is what happens when somebody adds an item to the carts. So let's actually go through that process. Give me 1 second. Let's add an item that is currently in stock, which I believe is this one. Okay. So if I go here, and so obviously you can see this is in dollars, right? So this is what it would look like with products that are in stock. Digital air fryer. Okay. If I add to carts, okay, this is what they're gonna see. So do I agree to these terms and conditions? So I don't think it's gonna allow me until I remove that. And I definitely don't want to have people clicking, do I agree? That is just insane and not something that I recommend. So let's go to the cart page, show total savings, add a text note, show total savings. Okay, I'm fine with that. Add these popular items, I guess, at the bottom. I'm okay with that, I guess. So hold on. Where is the option? Show total savings, show text box. Where is it? I don't think that it's gonna be here, guys. And I would probably keep a note. Okay, so this is actually checkout already. So excuse me. No, this is shopping cart. Okay, so it's probably going to be in another settings tab. So let's just get there, and I'm sure we will find it. But we definitely want to remove this by all means necessary. That has to go. And is this saved or is this saved? Because this just keeps spinning. I don't want to. I don't want to lose all the work I just did. That would be pretty frustrating. All right, so let's go to home page. So now we are pretty much done. Oh, sorry, I had to stretch there. We're pretty much done with a lot of the website when it comes to this. And we're going to change all of this in just a second. We're going to remove all of this, by the way. So have no fear, right? This is not going to look the same. So, but here we're already pretty much done, and we're done with these sections here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start changing some of the colors and some of these things that you view like on here that doesn't look very well. So we are going to go to what is, let me see, theme settings. Okay. So again, go to scroll at the bottom and go to theme settings. When you go to theme settings, there are going to be a bunch of different things that you can select from here, right? And performance, you're not going to touch any of this. Colors, this is pretty much, you can get spicy here and just figure out what are the color schemes that you want for your website, right? These are all the colors that are currently being utilized, and you can start playing around. Now, my recommendation, my tip, don't go crazy with the colors. Do not have your website looking like a rainbow, okay? Keep it aesthetically pleasing, three colors at the maximum, and keep the colors blacks, reds, whites, blues, light blues, right? Don't go crazy with the pinks and the oranges, and unless you use them as accents, right? That's okay. But if you're going to use, for example, my main background as just pink, and I've seen websites like that, they just look horrible. They look ugly. It's just, I don't know how people can just put all these colors on there. But what we're going to do is we're gonna or I guess what I typically do is for these texts that are kind of like grayed out, I just go all black, like just no in between. I'm going all black, right? I want them to stand out, right? Compared price, let me see, sale price, as you can see here, compare price. One second. Compared price. All right, so this one we're probably gonna do red. And this one right here, as you can see, it's grayed out. I would probably want that to be red, right? Now it's red. Um, Sale price, I will probably want this to be black, right? Ooh. Footer text, menu, compare price, hover. Okay, I want all of these black. All of these grayish looking colors. I want it all to be black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of follow this color scheme. I have black, white, and red as my main colors, right? Black, white, and red. So let's go, for example, on the and this is not the same black. So currently used. Compare price, sale price, product grid. Mm, I want the black, not that light black. Product grid, hover over, tap menu, tap hover. Okay, so when you're doing tap hover, I'm assuming that I see when you hover over it, it's like this bluish color. So what if we do red? What happens then? I guess not. And honestly, guys, I don't have to go too deep into this. This is really just you toying with these colors, just follow my advice, right? When it comes to making sure that you do not go crazy with these colors. Keep them as simple as possible, right? So here, how about if I do this one white? Okay, so if I do this white, and I'm probably gonna have to do this top background white because my logo is black, so it's not gonna look too good. Background sun. So a lot of options to play with on this. Where did I go? Top card. Let's just go with red. All right, so you can see I went red and this changed the cart red here. Banner placeholder. I'm not really sure what that is. And just play around with the settings and it should immediately just change. Search, text background, text. Did this do anything? All right, but I definitely don't want to take an hour trying to figure out these color schemes because I do get pretty granular. But again, it is nothing crazy as you can already see. It is literally just changing the colors that you want on your website. Stick to the consistent flow that I told you about, right? Stick to plain colors, nothing insane, nothing crazy, and you should be fine. But all of this is self-explanatory. You can see the changes that it does as you're making these changes. So I'm not going to dwell in this part too much because we'll go into the rabbit hole of trying to just put all these colors in the right place. That's not the goal for this tutorial, right? You can also change the typography, right? If you want to change, I guess, the font of it, you can do so. The main menus, I don't necessarily do anything crazy there. Let me see. Where am I? Product grid. Is there anything here? Why is my mouse acting crazy? Give me 1 second. Okay, where am I? So, and these are things that I do want to focus on. So hold on. Product search. Okay, on the product search, you can just hit everything, right? Page links, that's fine. Let's see. What do we need here? Okay, product grid, where are you? Okay, so it says here, show product information on hover. Okay, I think I like this better. I believe. I believe. Show secondary product image on the desktop only. Okay, so this looks good. And guys, I don't think my settings are saving because this thing keeps spinning and nothing is really happening as I save. But just based on some of my previous websites, I definitely want to show a secondary product image. I definitely want to show the product information upon hover. Show sales banner. I do not want to show any sales banner. Um, Load more products. All of this seems to be fine. Okay, allow. Um, okay. So this is a big one. Show option style, color swatches, or select drop down. These are your swatches right here. I don't like this. I would prefer a drop down, personally, right? So where are you? I'm just gonna go to select drop down. And it's a shame that I can't actually see the actual changes that I'm making because this thing's going crazy. Give me a second. Let me refresh this. See if it's hopefully reflecting on here. This is really frustrating. Okay, so it's not. So you're just gonna have to follow along, and it's not gonna save. But whatever the case is, just follow along with me. Make the changes. You'll see it on your end, so you're not gonna have a problem. Okay. Let's see. So show this. What else do I need here? Show quantity box. Yes, I want that. Show if it's sold out. Yes, I need that. That's fine. Enable reviews. Okay, so the product grid is fine. We are all set here. Okay, I should probably connect this Ethernet cable. I don't know why it's not working either. But all right. What's happening now? It's over my connection. All right, guys. So these seems to be working. I'm just gonna refresh it, guys, and just whatever happens happens at this point. Refresh. Can't take it anymore. All those changes that I just made are wiped out. By the way, they are wiped out. And I'm gonna quickly do them, guys, just because I'm not gonna be able to. Let me see. What did I do? Collection pages. Yeah, see, all that is still here. That's freaking annoying. One second. Hang tight. Okay, show collection title, no. Show breadcrumb, show collection sorting, no. We already did this. Show top banner image, no. We said we're gonna do 4. 20 is fine. Okay, save again. Okay, the cart. Did I do anything on the cart? Um, show add products. I'm probably gonna remove this. I don't need it. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Collection list. I didn't do anything on the collection list, so this is fine. Okay, so we're all set here. So let's go back to home page. Oh, I'm just gonna go to theme settings, performance. I did nothing. Mega menus. I didn't do anything. Colors. I'm not gonna do the colors again, guys. I've already done that, and it's just too time consuming. All right, typography, product grid, show vendor, show banner. Okay, so this is where we're at. I selected this. This is fine. Show secondary project. That's fine. Show sales banner. I'm not gonna go with that. I'm gonna do drop down. You can see this is gonna change now. Hopefully. Okay. I'm just gonna save this just to make sure. And this is still loading or saving. All right, so once we've done this, we're pretty much, guys, believe it or not, we are about 90% done on our website, right? And that's being with my internet acting so slow. That is me with having to explain, right? And just somewhat kind of repeat some of these things. to make sure that everybody is catching along. And as you can see now, the changes have been updated, and now this looks a lot cleaner, right? So now it's not at the bottom, the actual name of the product. When you hover over it, it'll tell you. And instead of the swatches, now there is these drop down menus, which just looks a whole lot better, right? Looks a whole lot better. Okay, so once we are done here, let's go to our mobile version. Okay, cool. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go to Quick Shop. Is there anything that we may want in Quick Shop? Let's see. Show saving prices, show full description. Okay, that's gonna be something that we select. We're obviously gonna go above the product flow. That's fine. Okay, so nothing crazy here. The cart, and this is where we're gonna remove that damn message. Where is it? Here it is. So show agreed terms. We do not want that, right? We do not want them to have to click that little icon. So that's gonna be removed. Okay. What else do we need? Nothing crazy here. We're obviously gonna change this, right, to the Philippine. Well, okay, so we're not enabling the calculator, so we're not going to have to change this. This is fine. Okay, all of this is actually good. So really, the only thing that you needed to change here was, let me turn this volume up. The only thing that you needed to change here was pretty much unticking this box right here. So once you do that, you should be good. We'll save it. Now let's see what happens, right? So let's click this product. Well, I can actually just add to cart. Okay, cool. Awesome. The ticker is gone. All right, for sure. So now that we're done with the cart, right, we are going to go back and we are going to change the currency. So we're not going to do support currencies. We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to do PHP. And did it automatically do it? Give me a second. Save. Okay. And as you can see, now it is in pesos, right? It is now converted to pesos. So this is for 29.99, 7.99. Awesome, 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 awesome. Cool. So what else? Newsletter. Show newsletter above the footer. That's fine. Not gonna go crazy there. The other thing that we're going to do now is pop-ups, right? What type of pop-ups do you want? Now, frankly, I consider pop-ups to be really annoying. So I personally will not be doing any pop-ups, okay? I go to save. Again, if you enjoy the pop-ups and you like doing pop-ups, so be it. You can select the pop-ups that you want. I don't enjoy them, so I don't do them. Okay. What else? Social media. You can put your Facebook pages here, your Twitter handles here. All of that information can go here. Pretty self-explanatory. That'll be there. Your Fabicon. Okay. What is a Fabicon? You see this little icon of Shopify right here. This little icon of Vidyard right here. This little icon that is called a Fabicon, right? And this is the Fabicon for Vendor PH. It's not the same logo. It is it's a very small image that you select here. And I actually already have it on the desktop ready to go for this. So Fabicon right here. Okay. Just it gives a little, these are like minor details. There's small things, guys. It's the small things that matter sometimes. It's not the big things, it's the small things. So we select, okay, awesome. So now let me make sure that I save this, okay, and checkout, okay. So now we're pretty much done. Like literally, we are at the final stages of this. We are pretty much done with our website, right? Super fast, super easy, nice looking website, right? Obviously it's not yet done because I would have done the colors different and all that other stuff, but I'll let you figure out the color scheme that you so choose, right? I'm just helping you with the main setting options so you do not get confused. The last thing that we're going to do though is going to be the checkout, right? Do you want a banner on your checkout? I personally don't. Do you add a logo to your checkouts? I personally do, right? And what is that? Let me kind of show you, right? If I go here, give me a second, right? And this is a different theme, by the way. So if I can go to, okay, process my order. So this is the checkout section that you're going to be seeing. And a lot of these are pretty straightforward. So the checkout section, you will put the logo right here, right? Which is pretty much what we're doing. We're going to make sure that that logo goes at the top of the checkout just for more branding purposes, right? Sweet. Okay, of course, we're going to do centered. We're going to do small. All of this remains the same, right? And you're going to have to make sure that you do the colors for your checkout. What is this? This is like the border around, right, your checkout. You want to make sure that it's all congruent. Obviously, all of this is dependent on the actual colors that you are using on your website. That is what you will be using, right, for your checkout. Like the button, if you want it to be black, right, which in this case I have it red button, which will you select? You would select, the red button. The accents is pretty much this hovering section around the box, right? That's the accents. And the error, in case there is any error, I always typically just go with red because red goes with error, right? Make sure you do this as well. You can change the typography as well. But a lot of this, the only thing that you really need to do for the checkout is the logo, the centering, and the colors to match and be congruent with the rest of your website. Okay, what next? What next? What next? So sweet. Guess what? You are pretty much done with the actual customization of your website. Okay, you are pretty much done. We're on the last leg. We are pretty much 95% done at this point. And really the only thing that we're going to do now is change some of the settings, okay, within our Shopify account. Okay, we are going to go to settings. Okay. And we are going to go to, if you go to general, this is where you can change the name of your store in the event that you need to. Remember, I told you you can always change the name of your store, but that first name that you created is what the URL is going to be. As you can see, it was testing, and you can just change this information if need be, right? Right. Okay. So let me go back. I don't know what I was doing. What you're going to do on the payment section, you're going to go to payments and you are going to simply deactivate PayPal. Deactivate PayPal Express. You don't need it there. I'm not going to go into the reasons why as of now. I will on the free mentorship, but you are simply going to remove that. Okay. Right. Another thing that you're going to do is you're going to go on the manual payments. You are going to select cash on delivery. Okay, cash on delivery. So on the payment section, you are pretty much done. Okay, the next thing is going to shipping rates. Now what you're going to do is you are going to create some shipping rates simply by going to manage rates. and selecting this right here. Okay. All you're going to do is, instead of going to standard, you're just going to click these little three buttons, edit rates, and you're going to go to, I'm going to say Manila, 2 to 3. Not probably going to be too low, just to be safe. 3 to 5 days delivery. And it's going to be, so this is going to be helpful because when they're checking out, this will pop up on their checkout, which I believe you don't see it here, but you'll see it somewhere during the checkout process, right? And it just lets them know that for Manila, it'll be 3 to 5 day delivery with free shipping. Okay. So you're going to go to done, and you're going to go to add a rate, and you're going to put provincial. You're going to put 5 to 8 days delivery, and you're going to go to free. So you've added shipping rates. Okay, both of them are free. They're not going to have to. They are going to have to select which one of these they fall under, right? If they're from the Manila or they're from they're provincial, right? They're going to select one of these, but both of them come with free shipping, so it is not a big deal. So make sure that you set up your shipping rates. Once you do that, you're going to go to save. Oh, and I'm going to just delete this, by the way. Delete zone, save. All I want is these two. Okay, awesome. So guess what? We are now done with our general or payments or checkout. Okay, and I believe I did miss one. Let me see. Let me see. Um, oh, the checkout. The checkout. The checkout. The checkout. One second. Where am I? Okay, this is an important one actually. Okay, so what you want to do is you want customer accounts to be optional. And this is pretty much if you ever been to a website and you can actually create an account within the website. This is pretty much what that does. You obviously want to make this optional, right? Let me remove this. Here, customer contacts. You want to be able to use customer. Customer can use checkout using his phone number, or email. So you want to leave that on as is. For the form, you want to require the first and last name, right? That is definitely something that you will need. Uh, the company, you're going to hide this, okay? The address line, you're going to make this required, okay? And you are going to require, let me see, let me see, let me see. Okay, so all of these are required. Let me see. Okay, so required, hidden, required. You are going to require them to give you a phone number. Okay, so just follow along, and you are going to provide some show tip options, right? So they can actually give you a tip after they or as they're checking out. It's not mandatory; it is optional. I get about a tip out of every 10 orders. Somebody will tip me, and it does add up eventually, right? So here you want to just keep everything as is, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Select this pre-select sign up option and hit save. So go back if I went a little too fast, but you are pretty much done here. Okay, so your checkout is now complete. General payments, checkout, shipping, taxes. What you want to do is you want to select this right here. All prices include tax. All prices include the tax. So Shopify is going to by default charge a 12% VAT, right? What you want to do is make sure that that VAT is incorporated with the price that you're giving already. So it's not 999 plus 12% VAT. Is 999 inclusive of the 12% VAT. So that is important to note. right? And you're not charging taxes. Make sure, okay, boom, you're not charging taxes on some product variants. Okay, but you're not going to see this. That's fine. You're going to just hit save. Once you hit save, you're pretty much set. There's not a lot else for you to focus on. You can adjust the notifications, right? On pretty much sending them emails, things of that nature. I'm not going to dive too deep into that. Files, again, this is not a full tutorial on Shopify itself. Plans creation. Once you are ready, you make sure that you select a plan, and you can actually just do that by clicking this blue button here. Billing, all of that is pretty much the same. Now, one final thing that we do need to do, which is let's see, where is it? Theme. We got to remove that Shopify thing from the bottom. So we're gonna go to edit language. We're simply going to type in powered by Shopify. Okay. Once you type in powered by Shopify, you're going to see here that you're going to have a section here that says powered by Shopify. All you have to do is click on this bar, okay, and hit space. Okay. Click on this bar and hit space, and you are pretty much done with removing the powered by Shopify, right? And pretty much after this is done, your website at this particular point is pretty much completed for the most part, right? Now, again, you are going to have to make some adjustments, right? This is just an overview example of how to create a Shopify website. And, we did it pretty quickly, right? Obviously, it saved us a lot of time by not having to import all these products and create, I guess, by not having to manually create all these products, descriptions, and everything else that comes with it. But for the most part, we are pretty much set. Okay. Now, a few things that I want to kind of, let you know is that the customization of your website is really preference based. Obviously, I can sit here and toy around with this and just make it look really, really amazing, right? If I put a little bit more time towards it, I don't want to make this video, 6 hours, especially for a newbie, kind of walking you through every little thing step by step. Some of these things you're just going to have to go in there, navigate, make changes. Again, as you saw from earlier, and just doing it, it is not complicated at all. It just requires a little bit of time and effort on your part. But I think that is the least you can do, just to make your digital storefront as appealing and professional looking as possible. So, what I'm going to kind of do now is just give you like a walkthrough of what we put together, right? um, just I can kind of show you the before and after, right? And I'll maybe put some clips of the website of what it looked like, before we started a few hours back, and pretty much where we are now, right? If you see, we have a nice looking banner here, and this is on the desktop version, so I'll show you both desktop and mobile version. But we have our feature collections, we have products. Obviously, I would have to update the quantity of this, as mentioned, because everything is kind of sold out at the moment. But that's pretty easy to do on the product section, at least. You'll figure that out, and just browsing through this is the experience that your customer is going to have. Now, something that I personally don't like is when a product has, different variants, right? For example, it may be red. You'll see the variant here, and I'm not sure why it's showing the quantity, but I'll probably have to remove that. But if it has variants, it kind of looks a little off on this section, right? But it is not the end of the world, at least. You have a digital storefront. Let's click on this. Let's see what it looks like on the desktop version as a final overview, right? Okay, I have notified me when this product is available. So I do have this feature here. If the product is sold out, they will be able to get an email once it is back up in stock, right? So pretty neat, pretty cool. Let's go. Let me see. Let's customize it. Could have done it from here. Okay, let's look at it on the mobile version, and this will pretty much conclude our tutorial here. All right, so this is what we are looking like on the mobile version. Okay, as you can see, this is the experience that your customer is going to get. Now, mind you, again, most people are not going to be navigating on the home page, so don't put all of your energy on the actual home page, right? Make it as nice as you possibly can, of course, right? But do remember that customers, as I mentioned previously a few times already, customers are going to be sent to a product page, which is the product that you're advertising. So this is pretty much the experience that they're going to get, right? Have the images, they can add here, so on and so forth. Now, I will make a separate video on applications that I do recommend, right? Apps that I think are important for you to have within your Shopify store. And but again, that'll be a separate video. I show you guys tutorials on how to set them up as well. But this is your website creation. We are pretty much done here. So I appreciate your 3 hours, however long this video is. Appreciate your time. Hopefully it has been helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section, or just reach out to me in the private group, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Now, if you just happen to randomly find this video, kind of navigating the rabbit hole of YouTube, because you wanted to know how to build a store, then I'll have a link of our private group chat in the description as well. So you can join our group, stay up to date on all dropshipping and e-commerce related topics that we are going to be talking about. So everything that I've talked to you guys about, it's going to be in the description. Again, I will have this particular theme, the turbo theme. This is Portland, if I'm not mistaken. That will be in the description. The 2 files that I use to import the products, that will be in the description, and the private group that we have on Facebook will also be in the description. So thank you so much for your time. Hopefully this has been helpful. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a lot more content coming up with a lot better quality audio, right? So do bear in mind that it is pretty bad and echoey right now. But thanks again, and I will definitely speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.